Good morning. How you doing? Hope you're well. I've realised that I lose a bit of sleep at times, and last night I lost. I think I woke up about 3 and then back to sleep again about half 4. Crazy. And it's I know why it is, because things go around my head like a chess game. Well, if that happens, then that will happen, and then if that happens, then that will happen. I don't want that to happen, so I need to then change the actual move, and and then if because there's different aspects to it, that's kind of like 4 chess games all in a row with a bit of technology, a bit of people, and a bit of sort of clashes of responsibility all in the mix. And you think, how am I going to crack this one? Because I knew there was going to be a come to a head this morning. We're trying to get some things done fast. We got an internal award for end of year for speed of work, so so thanks for that. now it's a bit of a curse. We've got to keep up that pace. So yeah, when you're going at this when you're going at a fast pace, faster than normal, then you've got a lot to think of very quickly, and it is a bit of a chess game to move things forward. Ultimately, it's a clash of waterfall versus agile sprints. Now, not everybody is accustomed to agile sprints, because it's not always technology related, so we've got to try and articulate that in a way that people get it without going into the terminology of what an agile sprint is. But it's also processes and contracts and other elements of work that are not traditionally agile and sprint oriented, so therefore that's today's challenge. But I think I've cracked it. I think I've got all the different avenues resolved. And it might not go the way. I've got a lot of foresight these days, as I keep saying, and I think it will go this way. But sometimes there's subtleties to it. But most people play the game the way that they're accustomed to play it. You get to know the modus operandi of people. As part of the studying of NLP that I did many years ago, I just can see the way that the mind works, and therefore how people are repetitive in the way their mind works, and therefore what people are going to say, and therefore it's a bit like a chess game. The move that people are going to make, and therefore you actually try to predict that. So it's all quite fascinating, but it does your brain in if you think about it too much, like it did this morning. But all for the greater good. At the weekend I was playing with a puppy, and got a bit of asthma, so unfortunately, but it was nice playing with the puppy. I had a whole weekend. The owner was away in France. She's French, and she was home seeing her family, so it was nice to look after the little puppy for a weekend. But I got rashes on my hands and wrists and my head, and so it was a bit uncomfortable at times. But when you come into the room and the little puppy jumped towards you and rolled on her back and all that, it was worth it in the end. So something else happened at the weekend there. Oh yeah. I think England won or something. You wouldn't know, because it's not on all the BBC channels, not all on the radio, every news item that you hear every half hour. You would think it was the only new thing in the news. But yes, you guys won. Yeah, if England won, so what? Yeah, it's only a football game. However, next game you're actually playing France, and France, the current world champions, are also my choice in the sweep that I've got. So I'm hoping for France to win tonight. Unfortunately for some, I had some my Australian nephew who was in Qatar at the moment, and they were telling us, they were at the game and it was an exciting game. They texted us this morning saying it was an amazing game, as you can imagine. Must have been a good atmosphere. But they said in the marina and out to sea, there's hundreds. I would have loved it because there's hundreds of yachts apparently. And so I had a look at the app that I've got that tells you what yachts are in the area, and and who owns them and all that. And so the Emir of Qatar has got some of the biggest ones out there. It's quite incredible. And as you can imagine, there's a variety of larger yachts. Now, I think I mentioned I've got a bit of interest in yachts and ships coming from Clydebank, the shipbuilding town. And I've always had a fascination, and now I spend a lot of time with super yachts. I've been doing that for about 10 years or so. And then I'm moving into commercialising that to make it my retirement business. So slowly but surely it's going quite well. But one of the things I'm doing is launching a TV channel, which has been quite exciting. It got off the ground at the weekend, so I've got about 5 or 6 videos there at the moment. So it's programs that one that I've done, a few that another author has done. They're selling a book about yachts, and I've also got super yacht toys, the sea bobs and things like that, and they've given us a few videos. But I also signed up one of the biggest yacht builders in the world, and they're happy. The head of digital marketing said, yeah, we'll be happy to support you. So it's like, wow, I've really got things made now that they're on board. Because then the others will come on board and it'll be a lot easier. So it's really delighted with all that. The power of networks is the thing that got me there, because I've been building up that network for about 10 years, and I've got a community called sort of a social community with hundreds of people on it who are interested in yachts and things like that. So, and that's called superyachters.com. So now basically it's evolving that into the TV channels, and it's going to be on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Android TV, Samsung TV. There's quite a lot of, I think there's about 10 of them next year we'll be launching on. But it's off the ground now if you've got Amazon Fire, and just have a look at Super Yachters, and it's one of the apps in there. So yeah, really delighted with that. Now, Jeff Bezos, it turns out, has got his own yacht just about launching. It's on the water now. The code name is Y721. Have a look at it. And it's by a Dutch company called Ashanko, and they're amazing. I've watched what they do a lot. I've been on many of their yachts, one of them called Dreamboat, which is like a dreamboat. And but yeah, Oshanko, I know the Marcel, the MD, and he's a bit of a maverick, absolutely incredible. Just set up the company in the last I think it was about 20 years ago, and he's been just because he's got a passion and an interest, he set it up, and now he's building super yachts. So it's incredible. So Jeff Bezos, 500 million, 127 metre. Fantastic. And it's a sailing yacht, so we'll see him. I mean, it's a top secret apparently, but it's in some of the press, the super yacht press. And one of the other top secrets, but it's actually, again in the press, is HMS Glasgow, a Type 26 frigate, an anti-submarine frigate. Now, it was in the news last week that was just launched, and it looks amazing. Now, that one's 1.2 billion. And I think it's 150 metres, it's a joint venture between Australia, Canada and UK, but this is the first one. So the next ones are a little bit less because they will obviously get better at it. I think the next 5 or something like 4 billion. So it's a massive amount of money being invested in anti-submarine vessels. So and they're quite exciting as well. So. But I don't know any more than that. It's all top secret. But the fact that Glasgow, HMS Glasgow, and the BAE on the Clyde is back to making some amazing yachts, I think that's just fantastic. Below Deck is the final one. If you're watching Below Deck, there's which is a TV series about the crew on a luxury super yacht. The next yacht is going to be St David. Now, I've been on St David many times, filmed it, and I've been having parties on St David. It used to be a friend of mine who was a sales broker. He eventually sold it after, I think it was 3 Monaco yacht shows we all but partied on it before he eventually sold it. Yeah, so it's got a new owner, but now they've obviously had a TV deal. So if you watch Below Deck and you're a fan of that, look out for St David. Lovely big yacht. Apart from that, I think that's it. I don't think I've looked at my notes. I've covered everything. So have a fantastic week ahead. Remember to play the chess game, but solve it and then move on. That's what I'll be doing. Have a good week.